Hello, this is WKCE Radio with Sarah Saleh, and we're doing the Unit 7 exam, Part 6, the last part, and it is what are the major goals and the most important programs of Johnson's Great Society. The Great Society, to start off, was a set of domestic programs in the United States, first announced by President Lyndon B. Johnson at Ohio University, then at University of Michigan, and subsequently promoted by him and fellow Democrats in Congress in the 1960s. Two main goals of the Great Society's social reforms were the elimination of poverty and racial injustice. New major spending programs that addressed education, medical care, urban problems, and transportation were launched at that time. All different kinds of acts to support the citizens of the United States to focus more on domestic affairs and to fight poverty. The Great Society's scope and sweep resembled the New Deal domestic agenda of Franklin D. Roosevelt. Some great social proposals were installed initiatives from John F. Kennedy's New Frontier. Johnson's success depended on his skills of persuasion, coupled with the Democratic landslide in the 1964 election that brought in many new liberals into Congress, making the House of Representatives in 1965 the most liberal House since 1938. That is the Great Society so far. I guess the meaning, and the second part of the question is most important programs of that time. Well, to quickly smooth over that, sorry about that, one sec. There were programs regarding people in poverty. Well, I guess that would be one of the major goals was to end poverty, and the second was to make life make more laws surrounding citizens. Some of the most important acts and programs were included the 1965 Elementary and Secondary Education for Children. This act provided major funding for American public schools. It also managed education syllabuses and major education-related lawsuits. For People in Poverty, Public Works and Economic Development Act of August 26, 1965, provided funds to construct low-income housing and helped find jobs for those lacking. The Department of Housing and Urban Development of September 9, 1965, another act also for urban residents, instituted several major expansions in federal housing programs, also helped manage and balance the mortgage and cost of housing, and added new programs to provide rent subsidies for the elderly and disabled. There were some programs for the elderly, such as the Older American Act of July 14, 1965. It was given due a primary vehicle for organization coordinating and delivering community-based services and supports that helped older adults maintain their dignity and independence. For immigrants, the Immigration Act ended discriminatory quotas based on ethnic origin, helped prevent attack on people based on ethnicity, overall discouraging of racism and other race-based hatreds, and to address pollution and national resources such as not exactly money or oil, but more of nature-wise, like forests and such, would be one against pollution would be the 1967 Air Quality Act, set federal air pollution guidelines and extended federal enforcement power. In 1965, Water Quality Act required states to clean up their rivers and to provide clean water to the citizens within the state. And as for, oops, sorry about that. And for consumers, the 1966 Truth in Packaging Act sets standards for labeling consumer products, such as labeling with the ingredients and true facts about what the product does. As I was saying, for the National Park Service Act, the Congress established Yellowstone National Park in the territories of Montana and Wyoming as a public park for pleasure grounding for the benefit and enjoyment of the people, and placed it under exclusive control of the Secretary of the Interior. Today, more than 100 nations contain more than 1,200 national parks or equivalent preserves. That was part 6. I hope you liked the exam answers.